My name is Andrew Parks, and today we'll be covering a technique to create a motion effect for an image in Adobe Flash CS3. This simple animation can add a unique flair to a website or may act as a transitional element between pages. This video is aimed towards individuals with a basic understanding of the layout and workings of Adobe Flash CS3. So, if you're completely new to any version of Adobe Flash, then I recommend a familiarization of the layout and tools available through the program's Flash Help option by clicking the F1 key. First, under Create New, let's select the Flash File ActionScript 2.0 option to start a new project. Quickly go over the layout. The center white space is the work area or stage. The Tools panel is located here to the left. Library is located to the right, which holds the elements of the Flash document. The timeline at the top, and the panel at the bottom, which houses the Properties, Filters, Parameters, and Actions tabs. Alright, let's go to File, scroll down to Import. We want to bring the image directly to the stage, so let's select Import to Stage. Select the image file. As it stands right now, the image is raw. We need to convert this to a movie clip symbol to create the animation we desire. So click anywhere on the image, click F8, verify that the movie clip radio button is selected, and let's name this Nutrition _ MC to document as a movie clip. Also, let's move the image off to the left of the stage, since this will be the start position for the animation. Alright, we want to exaggerate the image's movement from left to right, so we need to alter the appearance of the image. This can be accomplished by using the free transform tool from the Tools panel here. So, with the free transform tool selected, move your cursor over the top edge of the image and notice the alternating arrows icon. Now, if you click and hold down your mouse button and drag from left to right, notice how the top and bottom portion of the image drags along with it. For this activity, we are only interested in dragging the upper portion of the image so we can correctly position the image throughout the animation. To alleviate this, simply hold down the Alt key while you drag your mouse left and right with the free transform tool. Notice now how only the upper portion of the image drags with your mouse. And for our case, we want to drag it to the left a degree and release the mouse button, and there we go. Since the image will be moving quickly from left to right, we need to add a blur effect to illustrate the movement. Now, you don't have to blur the movement, but it will appear as if it's moving slowly if you don't. So choose a selection tool from the Tools panel, click anywhere on the image, mouse down to the panel on the bottom, click the Filters tab, click the small plus sign icon, and choose Blur from the pop-up menu. Now, to the right, there is an option to increase the Blur X value. However, you increase the Blur X value, the Blur Y value matches it. For this activity, we only want to increase the Blur X value. To alleviate this, simply click on the padlock icon to unlink the two values from each other and set the Blur X value to anything above 20. We'll choose 30 here. Also, let's go ahead and change the quality from low to medium. Okay, in steps 1 to 4, we created the initial illustration for the movement. Now we need to animate this movement onto the stage. So, with the image selected, mouse to the timeline panel at the top of the screen and click on frame 15 of the layer 1 layer. Once here, click F6 to insert a keyframe. Now, with frame 15 still selected, click and drag the image, doing your best to align it in the center of the stage. Once you've accomplished this, go ahead and move back up anywhere between frames 1 and 15, right click, and create motion tween from the pop-up menu. This option will create a smooth movement as the image moves from left to right, and you can witness this by clicking and holding down from frames 1 to 15. Now you have a smooth movement. Okay, now when the image reaches the center of the stage, we want to illustrate the momentum of the movement. To do this, select frame 17 of the layer 1 layer and press F6 to insert another keyframe. This keyframe still selected, go ahead and select the free transform button, again from the Tools panel, And just as before, hold down the Alt key while dragging the image forward a degree to illustrate the forward momentum of the image as it moves onto the stage. Again, click anywhere between frames 15 and 17 and choose the Create Motion Tween option to create a smooth movement between those two frames. At this point, it's time to take away the blur effect from the image. To do so, make sure frame 17 is selected, then select the image, and under the Filters tab, click the padlock icon to lock both the blur X and blur Y values again. Now simply enter in a value of 0 for the blur X value or for the blur Y value, and it will match for the other field. And now we have taken away the blur effect. Now we'll completely correct the bobbing effect by returning the image to its original format. Okay, let's create a final keyframe at frame 18 by clicking F6. With that frame still selected, let's go ahead and use the frame transform tool one more time. While holding down the Alt key, let's return the image to its original straight up and down state. And there we are. As it stands right now, the animation will simply loop over and over since there is no code telling it to stop. And we can witness this by holding down Control and hitting Enter to test the animation. Notice also how the animation appeared choppy. To correct this, we'll increase the frame rate from 12 to 30 frames per second. Now it's a little quicker and smoother. Alright, with the final frame 18 selected, let's go ahead and add in that stop code so the animation stops at frame 18 instead of looping over and over. So once frame 18 is selected, mouse down to the Actions tab in the bottom panel, click it, and with ActionScript 1.0 and 2.0 selected, let's click on Global Functions, then Timeline Control, and double click on Stop to insert a stop command for frame 18 so the animation will stop at frame 18. Go ahead and test this one more time to verify that the stop code has been inputted correctly. And there we are. Well, congratulations, you've just created a simple yet very effective animation in Flash. I want to thank you for your time, and I wish you well in all your future endeavors with Adobe Flash CS3.